says, listen to Jesus. Listen to him. What happens then? They're all prostrate and terrified of the transcendent that's kind of beaming in on them. The experience is too overwhelming. And what does the Christ do? The Christ says, first of all, he reaches out, and he, instead of giving the awesome transcendence of God, he gives the nature of God, which is love. And he touches and says those wonderful words that every human heart needs to hear: don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. And then when he touches and says, don't be afraid, he lifts them up, rises them up. So the descendants of God coming is to elevate humankind, to bring us up. And that is some wonderful news of transformation. And the invitation is, again, God not doing this to us, but God always doing this to lift us up, to elevate us. So, in areas of transformation of life, Lenten time is a good transformation time. And some of the stories of Lent will always be, I think, people coming into our own lives that will help us understand these messages. That's how God works with humankind. They tell the story of Sister Thea Bowman. A while ago, Thea Bowman was an African-American sister of the Blessed Sacrament. And she was a great evangelizer, especially with the African-American community. And also she had a sense of being a national person, of giving great wisdom. So many conferences, she'd be a keynote speaker. And Sister Thea got cancer, and it was being really debilitated. It was bone cancer, so she was in a wheelchair. The Bishop Conference in the United States invited her to come and lead them in prayer, because they thought, great holy woman, and a sister, and all, just a nice human being too. So sure enough, she comes and she said, "Oh, I'll be happy to do that." So the Bishop's Conference, you ever caught a glimpse of something like that? It's like a real large board of directors plenary. They're all sitting there. They're all kind of very staid, and all men, by the way, and obviously they're bishops. They're all proper. They're very big and distinguished and very refined. And Sister Thea says, "I've come here to pray with you." And she says, "Please stand up." And, when a nun says stand up, everybody stood up real quick, She says, "Stand up. We're going to pray together." And she says then, "Hold your hands." And you can see these poor bishops saying, "Oh, what am I going to do this for?" So they're all holding hands, It says, "We're going to sing. We're going to sing." And she said, "We're going to sing, no, not Kumbaya. We're going to sing, what's that wonderful African-American song of the march? Free at Last. Free at Last." And she said, "We're going to sing that, and, have a really good song for the Lord." And so they try to start singing, and all of a sudden she stops and she says, "You've got to sway. You've got to sway." Can you see these elderly gentlemen holding hands and singing and starting to sway with this wonderful hymn of the Civil Rights Movement? And all of a sudden, she kind of let them sing, and then at the end of it, she says, "This is not to make you childish, but childlike, that you will be transformed again, that you are more open and flexible to receive the gospel." She had it. She had it. And for ourselves, I think it is the same thing too. By the way, we shall overcome. We shall overcome. She had them singing it and swaying. And have you ever seen Bishop Troutman try to sing and sway? I mean, we'd all be kind of laughing at it, But it was, again, to loosen them up and to say, be a little flexible to transforming our lives to be receptive of the gospel of the Lord. And that His strength will be given to us. In His promise, we shall live forever. Let us pray.